Hello there peeps, welcome back to the channel. It's great to see you there, and welcome to Teignmouth railway station on a beautiful sunny Tuesday morning. It's going to be lovely today, and I've been thinking recently about a trip to maybe one of Devon's most expensive places to live, and I thought, well, we'd better get this trip in before the school holidays start, which as I speak is just about 3 days away, so we're going to do it today. I thought, no, I don't fancy driving, it's going to be difficult and expensive to park. Let's go by public transport. Let's see how we get on. The first stage is a train from Teignmouth to Newton Abbot. Away that one goes, and here's ours. Just a very short hop to start off to Newton Abbot. Sheldon Bridge. Doesn't the River Teigne look beautiful this morning? Across towards the Coombe Cellars, the old Devon Valley Holiday Park. Good morning.
Hello.
Should be a good day today.
Should be exciting using public transport to Salcombe.
Red Rock. And after a very quick 6 minutes on the train, here we are at Newton Abbot. Just a few minutes here on the platform, and then we're off to funky Totnes. Yeah, the funkiest place in Devon. But that is not our destination today. And here we go. This is our train to Totnes. Actually, we shouldn't be on this one. This is a delayed New Quay train, but as it's here, we're going to get on it. South Devon Railway. We'll be back there in a couple of weeks' time, so watch out for that. And there she goes, on her way to sunny New Quay. We'll do that as a trip sometime soon as well. And so welcome to Totnes. The funkiest town, the most alternative town in Devon. I love Totnes, and there is a Totnes video on this channel which you can watch. It's there right now. We did it in the rain though, so we must come back on a day like today and do it proper justice. So we've just got a few minutes here at Totnes, and then we're going to be jumping on a bus which should take us all the way to Kingsbridge and then on to today's destination, which is the beautiful town of Salcombe, the most expensive place probably to live in Devon.
Cycle spaces in Zone 4, wheelchair facilities in Zone 7.
So last time we were filming here in Totnes a few months ago on that very rainy day, we said, wouldn't it be nice to carry on and go further than Totnes by public transport? And we had a look, and you can get to Dartmouth from here by bus, and also Kingsbridge and Salcombe. And I've been meaning to do a Salcombe video for quite a while, and then I thought, it's a bit of a drive from Teignmouth to Salcombe, well, probably just over an hour, but then you've got to park and there's all that, and we thought, why not do it by train and bus? And they do actually link up really well. So yeah. The train from Teignmouth to Totnes return cost how much?
£7 each return with a rail card.
With a rail card, and the bus I think is going to be how much?
£3 single.
£3 single, so £6 return, so the whole trip 13 quid each.
And the parking in Salcombe is £13.50 a day.
So there you are, we've already saved 50p, and we're going to see the countryside. And we could even have a drink if we want to. Woohoo! Fantastic. We might have a drink, we might have an ice cream. We're going to go and explore Devon's most expensive town.
Whatever we have, we'll share it with you there.
Definitely. But well, you're not nicking my pasty.
Virtually, that is.
This cross-country train that's just pulled in is going to Edinburgh Waverley. My goodness me, that's a long journey, isn't it? And it's only 4 coaches. Incredible. And here she is, our little bus to Salcombe with tally-ho. Lovely. First stop is Harberton Ford. One of the great things about being on the bus is that you get to go to little places that you wouldn't drive through in the car, and we're down a very narrow lane into a village called East Allington. I don't think we've ever been there before, so we'll have a look. And here we are, East Allington. Lanes are so narrow. I'm so glad we're on a bus and not in our own car.
I don't have big gorges down the side.
The hedges are scraping down the sides of the bus. But it's beautiful countryside.
Yeah. We've just gone past something called Fallapit Estate.
Yeah.
That looked interesting.
Intriguing. And here we are just pulling into Kingsbridge. Here we are in Kingsbridge. Our bus has broken down, but it's okay. We've got a replacement and the journey continues. There's a lot of work going on here in Kingsbridge at the moment, as you can see, but we will come back here in the future and do the town trail when it's all done. So here we are in Salcombe at last. That was a very enjoyable bus journey actually. It took about an hour and 10 minutes, something like that. Probably should have taken slightly less, but the bus had a problem. You probably heard there was a funny noise on the bus going ee, and apparently it was overheating, and it got to Kingsbridge and just basically went no, we've had enough. But luckily there was another bus on hand straight away, so we got here only about 5-10 minutes late. Right, so we're gonna have a wander through Salcombe and see what we can find. It's a lovely place, not too busy yet. This time in a couple of weeks it's going to be rammed here. So let's go and have a look around.
Look where we are though.
Yeah, we are right by. We are right by Salcombe Dairy. Will an ice cream be involved? Quite possibly. We're going to start off with a wander down Island Street, which will take us down towards the waterfront. There's some really nice individual little shops down here, including the Salcombe Gin place, I think, isn't there? Quite a mix of different places down this road, from marine engine suppliers to bespoke bag shops like this. Ooh, morning madam. Salcombe Sailing, and oh, this looks interesting, the Devon Rum Company. Oh yeah. So here's your chocolate factory, but perhaps of more interest today, straight in front of us, it's Salcombe Gin. Ah yes, one of the little side creeks off the estuary. Looks like this is the one where you keep your small motorboats and your ribs. And I just can't seem to get away from alcohol. It's so distracting.
Now then, Salcombe Gin, new lines. Look at this. Especially for my boss, that one. Little bit of Negroni, anybody? Mixed by the sea.
Salcombe Over 60s. We are a charity run by volunteers. But of course, I couldn't possibly do that because I'm far, far too young. Anyway, approaching the waterfront. Look at this, isn't it lovely? How do you like one of these places overlooking the water here? It's where the lifeboat parks up. Is that the word? Probably not. Some very nice properties on the quayside over there. One of those is for sale, so if you fancy a nice waterside property here in Salcombe, that could be the one for you. It's a really nice walk from the car park and the bus stop area into the main town of Salcombe. You go through some lovely little passageways like this. Lots of little galleries and places to eat and drink. And look at this for a very pretty pub, the Fortescue Inn. Very old by the looks of it. And yeah, I am going to say it, quintessentially Devon.
You know me for my little foodie bits. Well, this is a fabulous butcher's. I don't know if you can see in, but I've bought some lovely stuff from here in the past. And my goodness, that might be a traditional Devon pasty, but wow, that would do about 4 people.
That's a whopper, that is.
Home-baked pork pies. And on the other side of the road, we've got Norman's of Salcombe, which actually is a fishmonger's and deli. Let's go and have a look. Oh, I don't know what he's got in. Always stocked. Sea bass hake. Lovely, lovely, lovely. And look who's waiting outside the Fishmongers and Driftwood Cafe, Roger of Salcombe.
So this is 4th Street in Salcombe, the main street, very narrow, but you still get traffic coming down here. Plenty of places to eat and drink, plenty of very nice shops, a lot of them places like Fat Face and that sort of thing. Another lovely pub. I think we had a meal in there a couple of years ago. But just for the moment we're going this way towards the Waterfront. This little car park on the right, I remember parking there just after I passed my test. Many years ago I was here with my mum and I remember parking on that car park. It looks busy, but this is absolutely nothing compared to what it'll be like during the summer school holidays, which are just about to start as I speak. Just in front of us there is the South Sands ferry that takes you just a short distance down the estuary to the South Sands beach, which is rather beautiful. It just saves you about a 25-minute walk, but it's a nice way to do it.
Just about made that.
Just in front of us is the Normandy pontoon and the little plaque below us here to tell us that this commemorates the 50th anniversary of D-Day in June 1944, is that? I think yes. A joint British and American amphibious force sailed from Salcombe on the 4th of June 1944 to take part in the Great Allied landings in Normandy. So there you are, another plaque. Just down a very pretty passageway off 4th Street, you find the ferry in here. Who's that standing under a boat over there? Row, row, row your boat. Very pretty, and I remember spending a very nice hour or two in the beer garden here, which directly overlooks the water. Absolutely lovely. Let's go and have a closer look. Yeah, it's not open yet, but you can see how lovely it is. Might pay a visit there a little bit later on, maybe. Yeah, you get a better view of it there, don't you? Isn't that lovely? Little bit of air here coming off the estuary as it goes out to sea. And this place here is where you get the ferry across to the other side, which is East Portlemouth, and I think we might just do it. Why not? And of course you can do a variety of different cruises from here as well, or hire a boat yourself. That's a squeeze, isn't it? And we're on.
13 pence.
Well, this is rather nice, isn't it? And after just about 2 minutes already we're here.
Oh, really?
The back of the boat here.
And here we are. Welcome to East Portlemouth. Isn't it just idyllic? Look at that water. And off he goes again. Well, this looks rather a nice place to have a drink or an ice cream, doesn't it? And look at that view. We found the perfect place to have a drink here, in the shade, but overlooking the sunny estuary. Isn't it absolutely beautiful? So what have you got there, Nina?
I've got berry fizz made in Kingsbridge.
Lovely.
So it's local lod as well.
Just up the road, and I've gone for an iced latte. And all that with this as your view. And yes, this is England, and yes, this is most definitely Devon. Yes, they call this the estuary, the Kingsbridge estuary, but actually it's not an estuary. It is really a ria or a drowned valley. In other words, there isn't a river that runs into it to form an estuary from the mainland, so to speak. This estuary lies between Bolt Head and Sharpittor to the west and Portlemouth down to the east, and it runs inland to Kingsbridge for some 8.6 kilometres, that's 5.3 miles. And the whole estuary is designated a site of special scientific interest and is also a local nature reserve. Just look at this, isn't it idyllic? And would you believe this is somebody's private garden? Oh my goodness me. There are some really beautiful little houses and some rather big ones along this stretch. Definitely not a cheap postcode. It's just about a half a mile walk from the cafe along this little lane, a lovely little lane, to Mill Bay Beach, which is the most notable beach here at East Portlemouth. I'm going to go and have a closer look. And here we are, Mill Bay Beach. Just look at this. Wow. A very nice catamaran on his way out of the estuary into the open sea. And there's also a very nice old sailing boat here, whether it's an original or a replica, I don't know, but it's very attractive. See, with just one of its sails up, just going from right to left. Really is so beautiful here, isn't it? And behind the beach there's also a number of extremely desirable properties. I don't know how many million each one of those is worth, but yes, we're definitely talking millions, aren't we? And there's even a brand new one being built up behind to the right as well. I think probably this has to be Devon's best beach. Maybe. Some people may disagree. Last week we were at Blackpool Sands, and if you remember, if you watched that video, I was saying that really it's not sand at all, it's really sort of golden gravel, if you like, or shingle. But here, proper golden sand, absolutely gorgeous. And just look at this water. And I'm going to say it again, it could be the Mediterranean.
Okay, over on the other side, where that yacht is now, that beautiful grey yacht, is South Sands Beach. And the ruins of Fort Charles are towards the south of the town. That was built for Henry VIII to actually defend the estuary. Towards the mouth of the estuary is the bar, a spit of sand protruding from the east bank, which is exposed at the very low spring tides. In this state of tide, and when you get strong southerly winds, the bar makes the entrance to this estuary really dangerous. It's actually believed that Lord Tennyson's famous poem, Crossing the Bar, was inspired by a visit to Salcombe during the 19th century. The poem begins with the lines, "Sunset and evening star, and one clear call for me, and may there be no moaning of the bar when I put out to sea." The moaning actually refers to the noise of the water breaking over the bar.
About 25 years ago, or maybe even a little bit more, we actually stayed for a week here in East Portlemouth when we lived in Staffordshire, and we drove all the way down here for a very enjoyable week. I think it was in the spring, and we stayed at a place called Middlewatch Cottage, which is about maybe a mile behind us on this side of the river. Very peaceful, very idyllic.
What did you leave there?
If I remember right, I just bought a brand new pair of jeans, really nice ones, and I left them in the wardrobe here.
You did?
And we didn't realise till we got back to Staffordshire. Maybe they're still there.
Would they still fit?
Of course.
Okay.
Maybe not. Shall we go and ask?
No.
Oh.
This beach is really stunning. It shelves gently down into the lapping waves. Oh look,
It's a sea monster.
it's a Mr. Geraghty.
Is it time for a paddle?
Yes,
Right, here we
it
go.
might be. Ah. Now the shoulders have come up. No, it's... You've just missed your yacht, it's gone.
I'll tell you what, it's not as warm as it looks, but it's lovely.
That's why you're in there and I'm standing here.
I tell you what, once you get used to it, it's absolutely lovely, really refreshing, especially after all that hot and humid weather that we've had in the UK recently. And on a beautiful day like today, especially on a day like today, you can see why Salcombe and East Portlemouth and this area is probably the most expensive postcode in the whole of Devon, if not the whole of the southwest. And in fact, I think I read in the Times, yes, we're very posh, just the other day, that Salcombe is actually more expensive per property now than Sandbanks in Poole Harbour, isn't it, near there, which traditionally was the most expensive place on the south coast. I think this has now overtaken it, and you can see why it is absolutely idyllic. One of these would suit me just fine. You could paddle up and down the estuary as much as you like, and on a very lovely calm day take it out to sea and go down the coast as well. I wonder how much this would cost. I'll tell you one thing, a lot more than you're thinking. There's a variety of different walks you can do from here. If you carry on along that lane past the back of the beach, it brings you eventually out onto the open sea, and you can walk around to the Gara Rock Hotel, which I remember years ago was an old hotel, a lovely one, but an old hotel, and I think in more recent times it's been either knocked down and rebuilt or totally redeveloped, and it's now a spa and a lot more swanky than it used to be, but still very beautiful. And of course you can walk straight round onto the coast path, and there are some stunning walks along this section of the South Devon coast. And on the other side, of course, you can carry on, walk straight the way through Salcombe, and it brings you to North Sands Beach. That's the one that Nina meant to say earlier on. That's the beach straight in front of us, and further on from there is South Sands Beach, and then you can carry on up to the hill and go up to the National Trust property at Overbecks, which is absolutely lovely. So Nina, I have a question for you. If somebody said to you, well done you've won the lottery, one of these amaze things that you see advertised, and you have won a £2 million waterside property, and you can either have it in Salcombe or in Dartmouth, which would you choose?
Well, having been to both in summer, spring, autumn and winter, I would actually choose Dartmouth because it stays more alive in the winter. We've been here in the winter, and while it's very, very beautiful, there's not a great deal open.
I remember the last time we came here out of season, it's still absolutely gorgeous, of course,
yeah.
But all that was open was the pasty shop,
Yes.
which we may well be sampling a little bit later on. I think one or two of the pubs and the local supermarket, that was it.
Yeah.
All the other places were shut.
They were. It was a shame, really, because it's a shame that the town dies a little bit over the winter.
It is definitely very much geared up to the holiday season, whereas Dartmouth is fairly lively all year round. They have a lot going on there.
Yeah.
So, no, I can see what you mean there, if you wanted to live there on a full-time basis.
Yes.
And here we are back at the ferry. We're going to nip back over to Salcombe and maybe have something to eat, and maybe even a little wee drinky. £3 each way on here, by the way. Not too bad. Another very nice beach over to the left, just over there as well. So should we film the whole crossing? Yeah, go on then, let's do it. The South Sands ferry just going past us. We'll do that another time. Very nice yacht moored up here. I like how he's got his bike on the side of it. I think this place in front of us possibly used to be a hotel and is now apartments. And here we are almost back. A beer garden has busied up since they opened. See if there's any space at the ferry inn, shall we? There you are, the whole of the East Portlemouth to Salcombe crossing. A more idyllic 2 minutes it's hard to have anywhere else in Devon. Although the Sheldon ferry, that's pretty good as well. Just like how he jams it into the gap, it's brilliant. And there we are. Yeah, sadly full up. We could go and sit inside, but we don't really want to do that on a day like today. So we shall, I think, head for the pasty shop instead. Back up the steps to the 4th Street. So I think it may well be a pasty and a can of Coke instead, but that's fine. Do you want to see how the other half live? Nice house. View. View. Nice house. Just in front of us there is the Harbour Hotel here in Salcombe. We stayed there a few years ago for Nina's birthday, just had one night there. Very nice. My everlasting memory of that hotel was the huge jug of gin that they left for us in our room. Needless to say, we had a good headache the next morning, but it was great, overlooking that view. Wow. So as you see, you probably have to be pretty much close on a millionaire or more to live here in Salcombe. But the good news for us is we live in Teignmouth, so good old sunny Teignmouth, and it's just about an hour away, and it cost us on the train and the bus a total of 13 quid return. Best of both worlds. Well, we ended up with a pasty and a can of San Pellegrino sitting here on the waterfront. Very nice. Couldn't get into the beer garden, but never mind. This is healthier. Well, pasty wasn't, but you know what I mean. But with a view like this, nobody's complaining.
4 grams a spot.
But we do like a bit of Whistlefish, our favourite card and picture shop. And they usually have little doggies in them as well, look.
I like this one. Fresh fish and 2 putty cats, one with his napkin on.
Aww.
Pilchards, mackerel and crab.
There's the lifeboat station, shop and museum there. But we're heading back towards Island Street, which is this way. We were thinking about going back to Kingsbridge on the boat and then getting the bus from there, but we've missed it by half an hour. Never mind, another reason to come back. So it was a really nice visit to Salcombe, a lovely place. Yeah, we haven't done everything. There's only so many hours in a day, but gives us another reason to come back very soon. And we'll do the Salcombe side of the beaches and maybe the Overbecks National Trust property as well. Now it's time to head back to the bus stop. We're on our way back to funky Totnes. And here we are, here's our ride back to Totnes.
This way?
And here we are back at Totnes railway station. That was a very enjoyable bus journey from Salcombe. This time the bus didn't break down, thank goodness. Beautiful scenery all the way. Just one short hop back to Newton Abbot and then an even shorter hop back to sunny Teignmouth. And the day is done. I love here how the old signal box is now disused, but they've turned it into a very nice little cafe. Why can't more stations do that?
Please take all your belongings with you.
I don't know if you can see that very impressive building up on the hill. I've always wondered what it is.
And take care when stepping down.
Just outside Newton Abbot. And here we are back at Newton Abbot station. Just one final hop off to Teignmouth, and that will wrap a very enjoyable day by train and bus down to beautiful Salcombe. What a great day out it's been. And here she comes, the last train of the day. And here we are back at Teignmouth. Well, what a great day out that was.
It worked.
It certainly did work.
Wow.
Teignmouth to Salcombe and back with a rail card, 13 quid each.
Yeah, return.
Fantastic. Hope you enjoyed that. We certainly did. And I hope you'll join us again very soon as we go to Devon, Cornwall or beyond.
Oh, somewhere else.
And of course you're invited. Take care. See you soon.